You know what's crazy about cybersecurity jobs? Everybody is talking about 3.5 million unfilled positions worldwide, yet thousands of qualified candidates can't land interviews. But me, I like telling beginners the uncomfortable truth, like the fact that 80% of cybersecurity jobs are never publicly posted. So while you're refreshing Indeed and LinkedIn, hoping you will see a new job posting, the best roles are being filled through method you've never even considered. And today, I want to even the odds in your favor, okay? In the next few minutes, I'm going to review three crazy strategies that will completely, absolutely transform your job hunt process. And I'll be showing you, number one, why traditional job boards are the worst place to find high-paying cybersecurity roles and where you should be looking at instead. Number two, the exact timing patterns that companies use when hiring security talent and how you can position yourself weeks before jobs are even posted. And number three, the networking approach used by the top 1% of candidates that gets them multiple job offers while others are still waiting for callback. If you want insights like this that nobody else is talking about, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's get started. Recently, I confirmed something that I've known for a while, but it might leave you a bit shocked. Did you know that the average cybersecurity job posting gets taken down just after 36 days, whether it's filled or not? Yet, the industry reports positions staying open for 118 days on average. So what happens during those 82 days? Where do these jobs go? Now, let me tell you, these jobs don't disappear, they go on the ground. I came across a fascinating study recently. A small research team tracked 500 cybersecurity job postings from the moment they appeared online. This is what they found. After 36 days, 72% of these postings vanished from the job board. But when they called these companies directly, posting as industry researchers, 84% of them admitted the positions were still unfilled. And this is the saddest part. Once these jobs are taken down, that's when most job seekers give up. They assume the role was filled or cancelled. But that's not what's happening at all. That is not it. What is really happening is companies are switching tactics. They are pulling jobs from public view and they're shifting to what I call dark recruiting. Okay? They're using private referral, internal talent scout, and they use invitation-only hiring events. But you may be wondering, why would they do this? It's simply because public job boards have failed them spectacularly. You would probably do the same if you were in their shoes, right? But let me explain better. The typical cybersecurity job posting attracts 248 applicants on average. Out of these 248, studies show that only 3% have the actual qualifications listed on the job description. The other 97% are what recruiters call hope and pray candidates, okay? Companies waste thousands of hours filtering through applications. Meanwhile, the most qualified candidates, people who are already employed and successful, are not applying at all. So companies create this second path, the hidden market, okay? And what they do is they tap their employees, networks. They also hire specialized recruiters who know the security community and quietly approach people who are not even looking. Now, let me tell you what you might not have heard before. By the time a cybersecurity job appears on LinkedIn, the company has already considered several candidates from their network. The public posting is often just a formality, okay? Their backup plan. I remember this conversation I once had with a former tech recruiter when he told me, when I worked at my former company, we had two tracking systems, the public candidates and the gold list. Now, if someone came through an employee referral, they went straight to the good list. Public applicants had to be exceptional to even get compared to the good list candidate. This isn't just happening at a few companies. This is practically industry standard practice. Industry data also shows that only 20% of all available cybersecurity positions ever see the light of day on job board. The other 80% exist in what I call the shadow market. All right, and these are positions filled through relationships, not applications. So ask yourself, if you're spending hours every day on job boards and application portals, you're fighting hundreds of other candidates for access to just 20% of the jobs. Meanwhile, the candidates who understand this reality, they're positioning themselves for the other 80% with virtually no competition. Now, the question isn't whether you're qualified. The question is, are you looking where the real opportunities are or where everyone else is looking? We've gotten to the part where I'll show you exactly where these hidden jobs are. Okay, so please write this down. First is specialized forums and communities. Okay, these aren't just places to learn. They are hiring grounds too. I'm talking about Discord servers like Black Hills, InfoSec, and Red Team Village, Slack channels for OWASP, InfoSec Prep, and even subreddit for cybersecurity or tech. If you're familiar with any of these platforms, great. But do you know that in these communities, hiring managers will casually mention, oh, by the way, we're looking for someone with XYZ skills, weeks before a job posting exists? Someone I know found a $125,000 security engineer position because a manager in a Discord channel wrote, thinking about opening a role for AppSec. Anyone interested? That was it. That job never hit LinkedIn. The second place to check is professional associations with local chapters. ISE2, ISACA, ISSA, and OWASP, they are not just for certifications. Their meetings and list servers are awesome for job leads. So this is what you need to do. Attend the local chapter meetings, okay? During networking time, ask this exact question. I'm curious, is your company planning to add to the security team this year? Don't ask, are you hiring? No, you want to know about positions being created next month. That's a smarter move. The third position now is to try out conferences and meetups like RSA, Black Hat, DEF CON, and B-side events. But this is the trick that I want you to try. Skip the official career fair and instead focus on the sponsor list. Companies sponsoring security conferences, they are investing in growth. Check their careers page first, then reach out directly to their security leaders on LinkedIn. And you say something like this: I saw you sponsored XYZ conference. I'm interested in contributing to your security initiatives. See, these three avenues, that is forums, associations, and conference sponsors, this will expose you to opportunities nobody else sees. But one thing is important: timing is everything. And this brings me to my next point. Most people think job hunting is random. Guys, it's not. Companies don't just wake up one day and feel like throwing money around. Cybersecurity hiring follows predictable patterns that you can leverage. So let me show you the exact blueprint of what I'm talking about. The first hiring surge happens in January to February. Okay, companies get new budgets, set security initiatives for next year or for the year, and they need talent to execute. The second wave, this hit is September to October. Organizations evaluate year-end goals. They realize they're behind and they rush to staff up before the holidays. Now, here's what everyone misses. US government agencies and contractors, they have a fiscal year. This starts in October 1st. This creates a massive but hidden hiring spree in October to November for cleared security professionals. Now, but there's a even more powerful pattern most people or most candidates never recognize. Post-breach hiring. Yes, you heard me right. The hirings that happen nights after a disaster or right after a disaster. When a company suffers a security incident, their immediate response after addressing the breach is to strengthen their security team. They don't broadcast this because it's not a PR move, but within 60 to 90 days after a publicly disclosed breach, companies typically expand their security department by up to 50 to 30%. So when you read about a data breach at a mid-sized company, mark your calendar for 60 days later. They'll reach out with this exact message. This is what you say: I noticed your organization recently faced security challenges. I have experience in, include the relevant experience, okay? And then that could help prevent similar situations in the future. See, this isn't opportunistic, it's strategic. What you're doing is that you're offering value when they need it most. Okay. Another window of opportunity you often don't pay attention to is new leadership. When a company hires a new CISO or a new security director, they typically assess gaps on their team and then they bring in their own people within 90 to 120 days. It has happened to me before. Follow this announcement on LinkedIn, then connect with the new leader. See, by aligning your outreach with these timing patterns, you're positioning yourself at the exact moment of maximum opportunity. When companies have budgets, urgency, and openings, but before they've started the public hiring process, you're already there. Now, this brings me to the most powerful method of all the methods I've shared. Remember the top 1% candidate I mentioned earlier in this video? You remember that? Let's talk about how they network. So, we all know networking matters, right? You know that. But why do most people still network like amateurs? Yeah, that's a good question. A large part of it is because they don't know better. But lucky you, I'm about to show you how the top 1% do it differently. First, they practice what I call strategic visibility. Now, instead of connecting with everyone, they become known figures in specific communities. Just like everybody else, you've probably been sending connection requests to strangers. Am I wrong? You've been doing it on LinkedIn. Well, the top 1% candidates you see out there, they contribute valuable content in spaces where hiring managers already exist. So professional and career platforms are not just for making friends. Your career needs to benefit from your presence on such platforms. Let me give you an example. Answer technical questions thoroughly on Stack Exchange or Reddit, okay? Or submit a well-researched pull request to an open source security tool, or write an analysis of a recent vulnerability that demonstrates your thinking process. You know, things that show your expertise. Okay, trust me, several of my students have landed roles just by consistently sharing value on LinkedIn. Okay, now the second technique here is what I call targeted relationship building. So instead of trying to meet everyone, identify the 20 to 30 people who could actually hire you or refer you. You want to research them thoroughly, follow their content, engage meaningfully with their posts. And this is very crucial, what I'm about to share with you now. Request a 15-minute informational call with this exact phrase. I've been following your insight on maybe LinkedIn. I'm developing my expertise in this area and would value your perspective on this so topic. Notice that I didn't mention job hunting or try to impress with too many words. What you're doing is you're seeking knowledge, not favors, okay? But during the conversation, they will inevitably ask about your background. That's when you deliver your gap statement, okay? Your gap statement, you might ask me, what is that? It's a 30-second description of what specific security problems you solve, how you solved them before, and the gap you see in the industry that you want to address. This then positions you as a problem solver, not a job seeker, okay? And when they hear about a role that fits, either at their company or elsewhere, you'll be the first person they think of. Do you understand? Let me give you the third technique. This is the one that the top 1% use, and this is the referral multiplier. Now, when you get a referral, most people stop there because they are so excited to get one. But don't be like that, okay? If you got one, you can get 3. Trust me on that. But how do you do that? That's a good question. You need a pen again to take this down. Write a simple mail to the person who got you the first referral and say something like this. Thank you so much for connecting me with company A. While I'm exploring that opportunity, I'm also interested in this particular role. Include a specific type of role. Then you continue. Do you know anyone at companies B, C, or D who might be open to a conversation? This simple email creates a referral chain reaction. What you didn't realize all this while is that one good connection can unlock dozens of hidden opportunities through second and third degree connections. So don't just be strategic about your connection, milk it for what it's worth. In cybersecurity, referrals are not just preferred, they are often required. All those other professionals you see out there, about 65% of them got their roles through internal candidates and referrals. But like I often say, don't just network with the mindset of a taker. Make sure you're prepared to give value first, okay? I know I've said a lot, but now let's put all this together into a 30-day action plan that you can start using today, okay? I want you to write this down. Day 1 to 7 is for community infiltration. Join at least 5 specialized cybersecurity communities, Discord servers, Slack channels, LinkedIn groups, and subreddits that are relevant to your security interest. Don't ask for jobs, okay? Instead, introduce yourself briefly and start answering questions others are asking. Become known as a helpful resource, okay? In day 8 to 14, Start your strategic visibility campaign. Create one piece of high-value content that demonstrates your expertise. Just one. This could be a detailed blog post that analyzes a recent security incident, or a GitHub repository with a security tool or demonstration, or even a LinkedIn article that explains a complex security concept in simple terms. What you're now going to do is post this where your target hiring managers will see it and tag relevant people respectfully. Okay? In days 15 to 21, now start a direct outreach sequence. And this is what you need. You need to identify 15 professionals in your desired specialty. These 15 people should include 5 security leaders like CISOs and directors, 5 team managers like SOC manager, security engineers, and 5 peers, okay? People in the role that you want. Research each one of them thoroughly and find specific topics that they care about. If you think this is very hard to do, then you need to find your hidden investigator talent, okay? Once you know what topics they care about, you want to send a personalized connection request referencing their work. After connecting, request a 15-minute call using the script that I gave you earlier, okay? Finally, for days 22 to 30, you need to do what I call opportunity mapping, okay? What you need for your opportunity mapping is a list that includes companies that recently had security incident, organizations with new security leadership, businesses expanding into regulated areas like healthcare and finance, and lastly, firms that sponsored recent security conferences. Once you have this, reach out to contact at each organization with a value-oriented message. Don't ask if they're hiring. Don't do that, especially if they just survived an attack. That may come off as insensitive. Instead, ask about their security initiatives for the coming year. Okay, so that's the 30-day plan, tying together all the tips that I've shared with you throughout this video. Now, it don't make any sense to have this plan and not use it. But this is what I can tell you. If you use this plan, I can assure you that you will uncover at least 3 opportunities that never appear on job boards. All you need is consistency and strategic focus. Okay, and may I remind you, the goal with this plan is not just to find jobs. It is to position yourself as the solution to a problem before the company even writes the job description. Okay, from everything I've explained in these past few minutes or so, you can see that there are 2 types of cybersecurity job seekers. You know, those who wait for opportunities and those who position themselves where opportunities emerge. So you can either keep chasing after the visible job market where everything is designed to filter you out, or you can focus on the hidden job market that is designed to welcome you in if you know how to access it. If you'll be doing that going forward, remember the 3 core principles that we covered, focused on specialized communities where hiring happens informally. Align your outreach with predictable hiring patterns and network strategically to become the obvious solution, not just another applicant. The cybersecurity talent gap isn't closing anytime soon. It won't. Opportunities do exist in this very industry. Just make sure that you're looking in the right place. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to do next. If you found this video valuable, please hit that subscribe button and comment below with the technique you're going to implement first. But don't stop at just this video. I've left a recommendation for you in the description below. Watch it and leave me any questions that you have on that video as well. And in my usual manner, I hope I'm leaving you today better than I met you. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.